The university selection test has been in force since 2003, and approximately 270,000 students do it every year. This test is so important to enter higher education, which must go through a rigorous process of preparation and delivery. The PSU defines the future of each student to enter the university. However, does PSU really represent the abilities of students? The PSU is made up of different tests to evaluate that are language and math, in addition to two optional ones that are science or history. Students must be trained to prepare themselves since they enter education, all for the reason of becoming someone in society. Therefore, great competition among students is generated to achieve high positions in the future. Then, the students live under the pressure of not being able to do more than study, and that if they get a score lower than 500 points, they are lost. Third grade and fourth grade are the years of greatest pressure, since they must already have a pre-university and a good name to ensure a good test. Preparatory elements have been created for the test as is the aforementioned pre-university. But to achieve it, normally you have to pay approximately 700,000 pesos, and it is necessary since it's almost impossible to deal with all the knowledge of high school without that help. Help that could be offered by the same schools in which we study, because many are those who cannot pay pre-university due to economic problems.
So, is the PSU really a bad system to assess capabilities? We have talked with Fernanda Magla, an 18 years old girl who less than 3 weeks ago answered the PSU.
For me, the PSU turned out to be a very stressful process, given the importance that it represents when entering the university admission process. In addition, and in a familiar perspective, my mom had to spend a lot and a significant amount of money to help me to prepare this test, because the state doesn't offer us any free pre-university of excellence to prepare us, so we have to resort to pay a pre-university.
With respect to the stress caused by the test, did your friends feel the same as you?
Yes, also my friends very nervous. Um, I believe that the main problem of the PSU is its excessively important to enter to the university. It is practically all or nothing, and which or that's the reason why many of my friends that don't have the ability to answer exams, they end up staying with the mind and white at the time of surrendering them.
So, what other system do you propose?
I will propose to take more into account the long-term results, and it is clear that the middle school's grades, um, since they represent the student's performance in terms of the longer times. They are more representative when evaluating capacities. Today, the PSU represents about the 70% way to enter the university. So, I wonder, it is more representative to take into account a test given just 2 days, or a set of exams associated with 4 years of study. I think there is nowhere to get lost.
Considering the negative aspects, what positive aspects do the PSU have?
Assuming that the PSU is the opposite of what was done before, which was each person took their exam in the corresponding faculty. The positive aspect of the PSU only benefits the universities. In fact, the PAA was replaced due to the fact that as the number of studies in Chile increased, a test was needed that would allow everyone to be evaluated on the same day and with the same contents. This helped to reduce the number of tests to be done by the university, resulting in a considerable reduction of time in administrative matters that are not incumbent on us.
Finally, what advice would you give to the students who will take the test in 2018?
Well, in my perspective, I will tell them to organize the study times and the subjects to study, because if they are not organized, it will be very tedious to have to study. I will also recommend to them that they don't get stressed, that they stay calm and take their time, get enough sleep, and read the question well. And finally, I think that you have to remember that you are more than exam.
This test can also be considered very discriminating and segregator because in order to obtain good results in the PSU, it usually necessary to invest money either by studying at a private school or studying in a pre-university. For a student who cannot afford any of these two curricula, for them will be very difficult to enter in the university education. In conclusion, we can say that the university selection test doesn't evaluate more than a single skill, that is the scientific skill, leaving aside other skills such as sport, interpersonal, creative, musical skill, and among many others. These skills, if they were evaluated, it will be a greatly help for students that will follow artistic, musical, or other styles of careers. This test only seeks to validate the high school content, leaving aside other skills as mentioned in the previous part. Finally, the current model of admission to university education must be reformed for the reasons already discussed. This was all. Thanks for watching.